Good morning. Welcome back to Heiko Shaves. My name is Heiko, and today, as you can see, it's time for another shave. Couple apologies to start with. A little bit nasally, a little raspy voice, so I guess I'm running a cold at the moment, but that shouldn't hold us back to explore wet shaving a little bit today. And the second apology is the color signs on my camera. I'm messing with color profiles and making my editing life a little easier and maybe improve picture quality. I don't know if this is going to turn out or if this whole video is going to look horrible, but I guess we will find out, right? All right, so what are we going to do today? I keep getting questions about the Leaf Twig and the Leaf Thorn. Even though those razors have been on the market for a really, really long time, there are lots of review videos out there. I think the company Leaf has just come out with a new razor, the Leaf 2, which in my personal humble opinion is more for the head shaving or body shaving, not so much for face shaving, even though they advertise it for it. But it's just a really bulky razor head with two blades in it. And these single-edged razors, the Twig and the Thorn, they are doing such a great job with just one razor blade in there that I don't see a reason to add a second blade to it, really. And then increase the size of the razor head significantly and make it more complex, complicated, and more difficult to put razor blades in there. So I want to do not really a comparison because I already, and you guys probably also know, the Twig is the milder, the Thorn is the more aggressive razor. I just want to use the Twig on one side, the Thorn on the other side, with about 3 days of growth in my face and see if both razors can actually take this down. So if the decision to go with the milder or the more aggressive one has any kind of impact on capability, okay? Let me grab some blades. I have Leaf blades here somewhere, made by Leaf, or at least I think. Here we go. So you can take a normal DE razor blade and just in the packaging snap them in half and they will fit in there. Or you can just buy half DE blades, and Leaf sells their own brand, obviously. So they come in a half blade shape, and we're just gonna take 2 of those. So like I said, DE blades snap in half, make perfect blades for those 2 razors, works perfectly. So you can stick with your preferred brand, your Astras, your Nasits, your Wilkinson swords, your feather blades, and just snap them in half while they're still in the wrapper. I wouldn't try to do that on an empty, or not an empty. I wouldn't try to do that on a blade outside the wrapper. But anyways, we have those single blades or the single edge blades, and we're just going to take them out of the wrapper here. I have several videos with the Twig and the Thorn on my channel if you want to check those out. So here's a half blade. Here is the Twig. We just open it up. The top kind of swings out of the way. There's a magnet in place. And then you just lay the blade in. Make sure the blade tabs kind of line up with those little nubbins. If you accidentally don't put the blade in correctly and then tighten it down and then start shaving, you might cut yourself in the face. I did that before. So I don't recommend it. And then you can tighten it down. You can also still, if the top and the bottom don't line up, you can kind of manipulate that by pushing on it a little bit. And then you just tighten it up. And that's it. So Twig is loaded up. That's the golden one. The Twig is the milder one. Now unwrap another blade here. Another Leaf single-edged blade. Here we go. Second one, fresh out of packaging. And we're going to do exactly the same. They are absolutely not different in operation. Put the blade in and then tighten it down. And if the top and bottom don't line up, you can manipulate it by just pushing on those ends here a little bit and make it straight. No problem. And there we go. The rose gold colored one is the Thorn. What else are we going to use? Orange Chill by Sterling. They have a huge catalog in soaps, in bar soaps, in hair shampoo bars, all kinds of soap related products. And I also have the matching aftershave. This is all glacial, so there is some menthol in there, shea butter, and all kinds of other good stuff. We're going to use a larger shave bowl today, the timeless shave bowl. They make that in Ohio in-house. So this is a plastic shave bowl, pretty large. made by Timeless in Ohio. So US made product. If you want to check it out, I will put for everything, I will put links down below. And then this is the Kong by Sterling. I usually don't use large knots like this because I always end up smearing lather into my nostrils. This is a 24 millimeter knot, really high loft, very soft. It's a good knot. It's just not my style. Usually I like the smaller, skinnier ones a little bit more with a little bit less loft and a little bit more backbone, but we're going to use this today. All right, let's do a quick little pre-shave here. I just realized that I still am missing this one, the ice tube by PAA. We're going to use that. I already have my sink and my amethyst basin filled with warm water. I'm just getting it wet. My face, I mean, not the sink. And dry my hands off. And then we're going to rub on a little bit of pre-shave. You're supposed to first wash your face with this to degrease your skin, I guess. We're going to skip that today. This is also mentholated. It's pretty cooling. And then I usually take a little bit more water and just rub it in. And it will foam up a little bit. Yeah, like that. And then we're going to scoop some soap out with my little soap scooper here. Mini soap scooper spoon. And as you can see, I have used this soap before. It's medium hard, I guess. It's scoopable. You can scoop it out. It's not rock hard. And then we're going to transfer that over into my shave bowl here. It has all those ribs at the bottom, which kind of help with the lathering action. All right, and then we're going to use the Kong here. Like I said, synthetic knot doesn't need to be pre-soaked, so we're just getting this wet. And then this is such a large knot that I will definitely squeeze out most of the water. And then we're just going to go in here and start the lathering. Not the shaving quite yet, but the lathering. While the menthol in my face is burning. If you have sensitive skin, menthol might not be the best, the best idea, because it does burn a little bit. So if you have really dry skin, maybe you want to skip that. Sometimes I have pretty dry skin in my face myself, and so then I usually stay away from menthol. All right, that looks really good. There is a lot of lather, really fine bubbles and a nice sheen to it. That's what we're looking for. Sheen means it's moisturized or hydrated enough. And the fine bubbles is a good sign that we're ready. All right, we're just gonna put it on. As you can see, this is a pretty floppy shave brush, doesn't have much backbone. It has a really high loft, as we call it here in the shave community, the loft. The scent of the soap is amazing. There's a little bit of some orange scent, mentholated as well, obviously. Very fresh, very refreshing overall. It's a good match. The ice tube and the orange chill. Very good. Yeah, Sterling, they're also very affordable. The soap and aftershave combos, they're very cost efficient, not super expensive. So now Twig on the right, Thorn on the left. Let's do, up here it's gonna be with the growth direction, and down there it's against the growth direction, on my face at least. This mileage, of course, may vary when you look at your own beard or your stubbles. All right, here we go. So 3 days of growth, and I have pretty thick stubbles, I think. And we'll see if the milder Twig here just takes it off, and it seems like it. Those two razors have absolutely no problem with clogging or anything. So the channel underneath the razor blade is wide open and has absolutely no problem giving you room for the lather. So let's zoom in a little bit. It leaves a little bit behind, obviously. Can't expect from a mild razor. And with this mild, I mean, it doesn't have any sharp edges. You can, you know, I haven't cut myself with this one. If you're coming from a cartridge razor and you're used to pressing down hard to kind of get a decent close shave with your cartridge razor, I think this one here is the most suitable because you can behave like this equally as forceful and pushing down and all that without any consequences. So this is a good razor for transitioning over to single edge or DE razors in general. And now we're gonna do the other side with a Thorn, same blade, same shaving technique. And we're just gonna see, this is also really only slightly more aggressive. It's very, very close to the twig. It's not super duper aggressive at all. It has a little bit more blade gap and therefore a little bit more, I don't want to say blade exposure because that's the wrong, it has a larger blade gap. I have never really done the little cardboard trick. So between top cap and base blade, the blade does not stick out. So the Thorn is a neutral or negative blade exposure, and the Twig, obviously, even more so. So we are really only looking at difference in blade gap here. I nicked myself. I was just bragging that I haven't nicked myself with the Twig, and there it is. Yeah, there is still something left on both sides. And really, honestly, I couldn't tell you which side has more left than the other. Yeah, they are so similar. The Thorn is just ever so slightly more aggressive. I can't really tell the difference, to be honest. They could have sent me 2 twigs and tell me that one of them is a twig and the other one is a thorn. And I wouldn't be able to, you know, prove them wrong. It doesn't really, I don't think it says on the razor what it is. I don't think so. I mean, I haven't found any engraving, any number or anything. And the only difference that I can really visually see is a little bit different blade gap between the base plate or the base comb and the blade itself. But those two razors feel so similar. Maybe they made a mistake years ago sending me a Thorn and I accidentally got a second twig. They used to make a elite version of this with replaceable base plate out of stainless steel. Was only available for a very short time. And it was some sort of a limited edition. Unfortunately, I didn't get my hands on one. I would really like to try that out. But it's really not a razor that is readily available for, you know, the consumer. It's more like a collector's item. All right, second pass across the grain up here with the twig. If you guys know how to tell a twig and a thorn apart by some sort of number or engraving that I haven't seen yet, let me know. If you guys ever feel like I should try a razor that I maybe don't have in my inventory and you don't mind sending this over, sharing, I promise I will always give it an ultrasonic cleaning and an isopropyl alcohol disinfection afterwards and send it back to you. I'm always open for stuff like that. Or maybe you have a razor that you absolutely hate, that you cut yourself with every single time and you want to see Heiko cut himself with it, just send it over. in the About section on YouTube. You have to be on a computer browser. You can find my email address if you ever want to get in touch with me. So, yeah, we did 2 passes. First one with the grain, against the grain, and then across the grain with the grain. And now we're going to do a quick little inspection here. And that feels pretty good. Now people are going to say, oh yeah, you don't look really clean. But really, honestly, once your skin is dry again, and the stubbles that I just pulled and cut off retract a little bit, I'm going to be perfectly smooth. Reason why I'm not usually doing 3 passes is I tend to get ingrown hair down here in my jawline. But I think today we're going to make it a exception out of this, because I feel like I could use a little bit of a pickup pass, especially down here. So we're going to lather up one more time. And we're going to do a against the grain, which I usually don't do. It's all just for the occasion here with the twig and the thorn. Let me know if you guys have a Leaf 2 and what you think about it, and what you think about the size of the razor head, and if that interferes with your shaving routine. If you like it, is it worth it? So that's against the grain. I do not do that on my upper lip. Yep. And against the grain here one more time. Yeah. And same story with the thorn. As you can hear, there's always something left. Very good. Yeah. And yeah, I guess my little nick down there, I might have been a little bit too forceful on the first pass. Very good, guys, very good. So now I'm just going to wipe off most of the lather. And as you guys always like me to use a alum block. Yeah, a little bit, little tingly here and there. Little tingly. Rinse off my alum block, put that back in its place. And then I usually leave that on for a few seconds, and then we can rinse off. Let's do that. Yeah, try not to get alum in your mouth. The taste is horrendous. Very good, very good. Yeah, so I seem to have irritated myself down here a little bit. First pass, and that supposedly with a milder razor. But I've always noticed that this side of my neck is more sensitive than this side. Orange Chill by Sterling, the Glacial aftershave, alcohol-based. Very orangey, very fresh, very intense initially, until it wears off a little bit. Whew, yikes. Yeah, very good, very good. And then I usually add a little bit of some skincare. So maybe something like Nivea Sensitive Aftershave Balm, or what else do we have here? I could use, I haven't used this in forever. Some sort of aftershave balm, you know, I have so many sitting around here. I really like the thick stuff, the Heritage by Razor Emporium, very good stuff. Or you just use some sort of cream. For years, this has now been my go-to. Glysolid, also made just like I am, made in Germany. It's a glycerin-based cream, which is really, takes good care of my dry skin sections in my face. Alrighty guys, that should be it for today. So we compared the twig and the thorn, and honestly I can barely tell a difference. There might be a little bit more blade feel on this one, just ever so slightly. And as you can see, if you do 2-3 passes, even with 3-4 days of growth in your face, it should take it right off, no problem. And you guys let me know about the Leaf 2, if you have one of those. Maybe you have the Leaf 1, the really big one with the 3 razor blades, I think. I've never used it. I don't shave my head quite yet. I don't shave my legs either, so I don't need it. But, you know, there is always a use case out there. I don't think a large 3-bladed or 2-bladed razor head is really needed for a clean shave. That's why I'm stuck with single-edge razors or double-edge razors, double, single, mixing it all up. But these two really a go-to razor for me if I really want to have a mild, predictable, safe shave in the morning. $79, I think. $109, you get a little blade bank, like a little container where you can put old blades in a pack of blades for $109. So that's $30 more for just a tin can and a couple blades. I don't think that's worth it. $79 is pretty pricey for a completely zinc alloy razor. There's no stainless steel involved other than a couple small screws and a magnet. Yeah, $79. I think that's justifiable to get this kind of mild, easy transition razor from cartridge razors. And I've used this for years now, this one as well. I love them. They do a good job and they usually don't nick me, but I was proven wrong today. Alrighty guys, that's it. I hope I see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.